Welcome to the show that teaches you the things your parents and teachers are too afraid to, the Heliosblog. Today, 26 minutes of the whatever podcast dealing with disrespectful girls. Here we go.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
Without further, what are you doing over there? What's that?
I was feeding my Tamagotchi.
Disaster.
You're feeding your Tamagotchi?
Yeah.
When we explicitly told you before the podcast not to be on your phone, not to be texting.
Sorry.
Do you think that's the appropriate time to be doing that?
My bad.
What do you mean you're bad?
My bad.
Did you forget the pre-show instructions that Nick went over about not being on your phone?
It's not my phone.
It's not.
She has a phone on her desk. Okay, wonderful. Anyway, the point is, it looks bad on the podcast when everybody's texting and not paying attention. That's the point.
Not on your phone?
It's not a phone.
Does that diminish the degree to which it would be disrespectful to be doing that in the midst of a conversation? Okay, here's your phone. Looking at your phone versus looking at your Tamagotchi.
Very different. It's not a phone.
Are you just going to take no accountability, or are you just going to sit there like a dork?
I said my bad.
Okay. Do you realize, though, if we were having a conversation and you were on your Tamagotchi while I was talking to you, that would be very disrespectful?
You weren't talking to me.
My lord. Yeah, it's like literally acting like a 12-year-old.
I'm in the middle of doing the podcast. If anybody here at the table is talking about anything and you're on your phone, that would be rude. It's why we explicitly told you before the show to not be on your phone. Now, if you want to do some loophole bullshit about, oh, it's not a phone, it's a Tamagotchi, in practice, it's this exact same principle.
Okay.
No, it's technically not the same thing. Therefore, I can do it.
So can you do me a favor and put your Tamagotchi somewhere else so I can continue on with the show? Thank you.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
I guess.
You okay?
Yeah.
Did you have something on this, or?
No,
Sounds-
it's just like a little bit more.
Yeah, you're just distracted and not doing anything.
It's boring?
A little bit.
You're the one who you asked to be on the show.
I didn't.
Yeah, you reached out to us wanting to be on the show.
I didn't.
Oh, who did? Someone on your behalf reached out. I don't know who did it, but you did.
Disaster. So again, total lack of accountability, responsibility. Just, I don't understand. Does she think that this is okay?
You asked me to come on.
No, you got.
What? So she actually thinks she's doing the show a favor by being there and then coming and being disrespectful. Lovely.
Guys contacted us. Initially, we followed up with you to see about coming on. Did you not send the first message?
No.
Yeah, you did. Or are you saying your boyfriend reached out to us?
No.
Do I literally need to pull up the Instagram messages and show you that you reached out to us wanting to be on the show?
What?
In any case, it's kind of rude to say that this is boring.
Well, you asked what's wrong, so I'm just telling you.
You know what this reminds me of? You know there's like TV shows where they have like the bored teenager? It's literally that. Like this girl is not matured past like age 14 to 16. Guys, I'll give you a joke. They say that when a girl learns that she can manipulate a guy through her looks, that's when she stops maturing. At what age, guys, do you think that this girl stopped?
Straight up, I'm just bored.
What? Maybe that's because you're too fixated on wanting to play your bullshit Tamagotchi.
It's not bullshit, dude.
Are you?
Yeah, exactly. What I want to do isn't bullcrap. Only what you want to do is. Literal teenager.
Really that triggered that I called your Tamagotchi bullshit?
I'm not triggered. It's just not bullshit. Tamagotchis are cool.
You seem a little
In your opinion.
offended by it.
What's your problem with the Tamagotchi, man?
Maybe you're bored because you're not really participating in the conversation, and every time we've gone around the table, get to you, you just kind of give a half-assed.
These are just dumbass questions, bro.
By the way, you can tell who a girl's been alpha widowed by how she talks. Guess who she got alpha widowed by?
What?
You asked to be on the show.
No, I didn't.
You're being very rude and disrespectful.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and?
So you asked to be here. I'll pull up the initial messages that you sent us. Hold on. Let me scroll up 1 sec here. She's bored. Okay, September 6th, you DM'd us. Hey, I said hi, or wait, hold on. You've sent us messages from 2 different accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me pull it up. It's 1 sec. Typically, if you're bored, maybe that's just projection. Maybe you're the bored. Hold on.
Like the boring one, exactly.
Okay, I'm not going to pull it up, but you messaged us wanting to be on the show. We did not message you.
Okay, bro.
Okay, bro. So, in response to this crap, she continues to be even more disrespectful.
What's with the attitude?
What do you mean?
You have an attitude. Do you think if you're in a conversation with somebody and you say, this is boring, do you think that that's a
You
polite thing?
asked what's wrong. What?
Okay, so what? I'm curious, how would you like to see this conversation go, since you're so bored? So you're bored. Make this conversation less boring. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire, Brian?
Is that
Again, this is not the podcast for that.
your best effort?
Sure.
Yeah, so I checked on both of our messages here. You reached out to us. You said, my OF friends, manager, and I would love to be on your podcast August 22nd. You asked me what this podcast is about. I'm assuming you reached out to be on the show because you've seen the clips. You've seen the show.
No, I haven't.
How, like, disrespectful can you possibly be? Right? This is the definition of arguing in bad faith. Just as bad faith as possible.
Okay.
All the other girls, by the way, are starting to look concerned because they see where this is going.
You sent the first message.
It wasn't me. It was probably my manager.
Okay.
My lord.
Definitely was my manager.
The guy with the green hair that was down there?
No, that's my boyfriend. That's not my manager.
Disaster. Yeah, and your boyfriend would be okay with this kind of behavior?
Okay. So, in any case, a message originating from your Instagram. See, here's the thing. If I have a representative contact somebody and I'm working on a business deal, they can say that you made the offer. In any case, you're not particularly adding to the conversation. You've been disrespectful this entire time. You're entitled. You're rude. You have TikTok brain. You cannot stay focused. We've only been live for an hour and a half or so. It's incredibly rude to say that you're bored in a conversation.
You literally asked, though.
My god. Just get out.
What do you want me to say?
Well, I appreciate the truth, but you're being rude, so I'm going to ask you to leave.
Okay.
So get up, get the fuck out. Go ahead, Madison.
Good luck on your dead-ass podcast, bro.
Man.
Bro, you got no fucking followers. You're a fucking clown.
Indeed.
I don't know. Bye. Why did she come?
Wait, that was the weirdest.
I thought you guys got her from down there.
No, I thought so. I thought she was from the street.
So I was like, wait.
crazy.
That's funny. Well,
She's got on my dead ass podcast, bitch. You fucking do OnlyFans. You fucking degenerate. Good. They're all
Disaster.
gone. No more OnlyFans girls. I could
is she
literally.
the one who stabbed her boyfriend?
No, that's her.
Oh.
Which we're about to get into. Here, we need. I almost think that we adjust the seating arrangements a little.
Okay. Next one.
I don't think body count should matter at all, but someone in the chat made a really good point earlier, and they said, you're a high roller, but you don't want to pay the bill, and I think that's funny.
Wait, what?
Like you called yourself a high roller earlier, a top earner, or whatever.
I didn't call myself a high
You
roller.
said something about yourself making money, and then they said that, but he doesn't want to pay the bill, and I thought that was a funny point.
Are you redirecting the conversation here, or I mean,
Kind of. I just never got a chance to put that point in earlier, but.
why is
Disrespectful. Yep. This is what our contribution to the conversation needs to be. This.
it funny?
Cause like, why are you talking about how much money you make if you don't want to pay the bill?
I wasn't bragging.
Because that's not what men are for. Disaster. Like, how can you think about men in such transactional terms and then think that people will take you seriously? Disaster.
We were talking about marriage, and I said because I'm a high earner, I have certain concerns when it comes.
Why don't you pay the bill on the first date? That's funny.
Because you didn't earn it. That's why.
Why is that funny?
Because you're like someone that feels the need to call himself a high earner but doesn't want to pay
I
on
didn't
the first
feel
date.
the need. We were having a conversation about marriage, and
I
I was
just think it's
I was
funny.
I wasn't like bragging. Oh, I'm a fucking high earner. Like I'm not bragging. It was just in the context of the conversation about marriage, and I was making my argument that because I do make a decent amount of money, I have greater risk than a guy who's making an average salary.
You and your money.
Also,
What do you mean you and my money? You think I'm like I got a big ego about money? I really don't. I wear fucking $20
No, you just don't want
flannels.
to pay the bill. You do kind of have a weird thing around money and like women and stuff.
My lord. Like, again, so what's the point here? The point is, if he doesn't believe exactly what you believe about girls, there's something wrong with him? I don't understand. So you're the only one that's allowed to define what's okay behavior? He can't? Why? Because you're a girl? I fail to see the point here.
And how much you make. Yeah, for sure. There's some like stuff going on. 100%.
What do you mean there's stuff going on?
Like with not wanting to pay the bill and like worrying about how much money you're making.
Why
worrying
don't you
about-
want to pay the bill? Maybe there's something going on with you.
Indeed. Exactly. And more than this, why should the man have to pay your bill? When you haven't earned it? When you're disrespectful? Why? You don't deserve it.
You don't want to pay the bill.
'Cause I'm
Are you a
girl.
feminist? Do you believe in gender equality?
Look at her face. Of course she does.
I'm asking you a question.
Anyways,
Are
you're
you-
a
no, no,
high
no.
earner, but you don't pay the bill.
See,
You have 2 neck tattoos. Not 1, 2.
it's so funny. Like, it's not a question of the money necessarily. It's not about me not being able to afford it. That's not the issue. I just don't want to waste my money on someone who doesn't deserve it.
Indeed.
I actually wrote a song about it.
You're a disaster.
Song about what?
He's a high earner, but he doesn't pay the bill.
You can't even sing. Disaster. The other guy here is cringing so hard. Look at his face. So funny, so funny. Ha 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 ha.
Did you do
12-year-old humor.
like cocaine in the bathroom or something?
No.
Not yet.
That was a lovely song. Well done.
Thank you.
You should try out for American Idol.
Thank you.
That's well. Look, when it comes to paying the bill, we as men, we don't know you. We don't know if you're worth it yet.
Indeed.
So we're not going to pay to find out. I don't get this pushback against equally investing into the start of a relationship. I bet most of you would describe yourselves as feminists. I bet most of you would say you believe in gender equality, equality between the sexes. But it's funny, when that check comes, y'all are really quiet about being feminists and believing in equality.
my gender equality goes straight out the door when it's time to take the trash out.
I believe that.
Exactly. Indeed. And but your respect doesn't. It never goes it never goes in the door. You're always disrespectful no matter what guy you're talking to. She doesn't even understand what an opportunity it is to be in this room with this guy. How many opportunities do you have to be in a room with a guy who actually earns the kind of money that you want? And you act like this and you think it's okay. Disaster.
I stand by that.
Yeah, I don't consider myself a feminist.
I don't either.
But back in the day, they used to provide for women because they worshipped women, not because...
They didn't worship women. Girls were raised to act right, and so the culture was, it accounted for that.
Yeah, like if I'm going to be a feminist and think that women should be worshipped, then I think the man should pay. Back in ancient times, they used to worship.
What? Okay. In ancient times, when they worshipped women, they didn't revere them like that. It was more like the ruler of the tribe gets 80%, or the tribe girls are like equally distributed, but the leader of the tribe gets 80% of the girls of the tribe you take over. I don't understand what this is. Like what's happening here? This girl has no idea what history was actually like pre civilization times.
I don't think it's because they worshipped women. It's because women provided something very unique, solely and exclusively to their husband, that is not really happening today. For instance.
Yeah, and they didn't have like the Christian concept of marriage or whatever, but they did have the "she's my woman" thing.
Their body.
What? Oh.
Women are still the bearers of life.
Yeah, but
so a man, they're not the bearers, I guess, but they're the creators as well. So
the woman's body is supposed to be a temple for the man.
Indeed.
Okay.
So much disagreements.
I think
disagreements is not a word.
It is entirely reasonable to take Brian has, where he doesn't want to invest money into a woman that he has no idea what her motives or intentions are.
But that's a bad way to go into something. Being suspicious of someone.
No. Okay. When you put your hand on a hot stove and you pull your hand away, does that make you suspicious of putting your hand near burning stoves in the future? So it is with 2024 society.
Like that.
Aren't women suspicious of men?
Indeed.
Yeah,
when they go on first dates?
If I'm not going into it being
I'm special. I'm different. I'm not like the other girls.
Suspicious, no.
I would be suspicious.
Most women are
It's normal.
Let me
to be
ask, would you,
suspicious.
if a guy invited you over to his house before meeting him, out in public on the first date, would you do it, or would you
Nope.
prefer to meet him in public first?
I would prefer to meet in public.
Why is that?
You see?
What are you suspicious of? Or is it just being...
No, I just wouldn't want to give him any ideas, because if you go over to a guy's place like that, they're going to assume you want to have sex with them.
Could it also be a safety thing? You'd rather meet in public for safety reasons?
No, I just honestly don't want to give someone the idea that I want to fuck them if I don't.
So you're not even thinking about the fact that he could literally...
Do something.
Kill you?
Murder.
No, not really.
Disaster. But imagine living in a society that's so safe that it doesn't even cross a girl's mind. You see?
Okay.
I'm more trusting in men than that.
There are crazy people. This is not a men or women
There's
thing.
a lot of
there
really
are
good
just
guys out there that want to protect and provide for women.
You're totally right. In fact, most men are, but there are
That
really
don't wanna hurt women.
there are really bad guys. When my daughter's 18, I tell her, listen, you need to know someone before you are in a private place with them. That's like basic safety 101. I'll buy her a gun. I'll give her a can of bear mace. You need to take care of yourself. You need to be careful. There are just twisted psychos out there. It's true. There are predators out there. That's just a safety thing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go to someone's house just to, if I didn't know them first.
Gender equality goes out the window when work gets dangerous. This is coming from a veteran with 2 tours.
That's good. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah. Yeah.
So wait, what was your thing?
Where were we?
Fucking, bro. It's just so fun. I don't get this pushback Like I believe in egalitarianism. I believe in equality. Like I know you guys didn't want to take the what's it called? The title of feminist, but do you guys all believe in equality?
There's no such thing as equality.
That's true, actually. In 2024 society, women are superior. They're not equal. It's true. They're treated in every conceivable environment better than men. The only region where a girl is inferior to a man is when she sleeps around. Then she's judged for sleeping around. That is the only place where men are favored over women.
We're made differently. Our brains think differently. Our bodies work differently. There's no equal, but there's fair as we can get, but there's no like really equal. It's like comparing apples to oranges.
I don't know. I think that there's personally like things that women can do that men can't do, and things that men can do that women can't do. And
It's true.
I see that in the sense of even like a woman having a baby and a man getting her pregnant.
Okay, so do you let your man lead into the relationship? Do you submit to him?
I did, and I do. Naturally, I do, and I wish I didn't. But yeah. 100%.
So let me ask you guys a question. In your relationships with men, would you consider your, let's say, long-term partner, is he the head of the household? Does he have final say?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
I trust him. If he's adamant about something and is like, this is what
Okay.
it is, then yeah.
Fair enough.
All right,
Fair
baby,
enough.
you're right.
It depends on the
I
point,
trust
though,
you.
because if I'm feeling really passionate about it, I won't let him get his way.
Lovely. Yep, great.
Let me ask you a question. Would you let him tell you to stop doing sex work? He
Yeah,
puts his
I
foot down and says
mean-
no more sex work.
No.
Okay, so no.
then he's
I'm
not.
feeling really passionate.
Disaster.
So
about
then he's
that
not
one.
the head of the household, is he?
He's not the head of the household.
I just don't think he would ask me to do that.
Yeah, exactly. The head of the household doesn't want me to quit sex work. He loves that I do sex work.
What? Bad leader.
What if everything
That's
else
great.
about him is perfect?
So your conceptual head of the household man just is.
He just
Man, this is
wouldn't-
hard to wrap
he's
your head
cool
around.
with it. Like,
I mean, I've found guys like that don't care about what I do.
I mean,
Not
is he like a
everyone-
They don't. That's not true at all. They do care, but that's the compromise they're willing to make in order to have bedroom fun with you. Not that they'd ever consider you for real long-term companionship.
I care
millionaire?
so much
If he's
about
a
that.
millionaire, then maybe I'd consider it. but-
Usually they're also in like an entertainment industry of some kind.
You're totally okay with this conceptual dominant head of the household man as long as he's okay with you doing everything that you do whenever you want to do it, and there's no give at all.
Well, you said sex work.
No, it's not like that. There's obviously like you don't do whatever you want whenever you want. That's
Yeah.
not how a relationship works. They're cool
Okay.
with certain things,
But
and there's
look-
some things they're not cool with.
Look,
and that's it.
As far as the whole paying for the date thing, so women want men to do all this traditional stuff, opening the door, paying for the date, gifts, flowers, providing. In my view, these are reserved for women who are worthy of them.
Yep, exactly right.
Just like women are not obliged to sleep with you on the first date, so too are men not obliged to provide for you on the first date.
Yep, that's right.
You make a good point.
Yeah.
I feel like, both stances could be right. Like,
But yeah, both stances could be right, but my personal opinion is that it has to be exactly what I want when I want it, and I will have no give at all. Yeah, that's the impression I get as well.
men who are comfortable paying and men who are not, like
Then they
it's
don't
up
get
to your
to go out with
discretion what
us,
you want to
and
do
that's
with your
that.
money.
If
Look-
they don't want to pay on the first date, then that's fine. Then you're not going to go out.
But
Yeah.
for a lot of women, it's like you want a guy. This falls into a few different categories, but just like we as men have to prove ourselves to you before you sleep with us, I'm of the opinion, and I'm instructing men to do this.
Yep.
You should be screening women just as hardcore as they're screening you.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. Like, if she's not good enough, she's a friends with benefits only. Sorry.
So I think you should wait to provide until men should wait to provide until you've proved yourselves to us.
Yes.
You don't get the benefit of my provisioning until I know you are only talking to me. Because like I said earlier, one of the main reasons I don't want to pay for a girl on a first date is these girls are dating multiple dudes. They're sleeping with multiple dudes. You don't get my provisioning until I know you are only talking to me.
Yeah, only talking to me, only dealing with me, only sleeping with me, and there is no risk, or virtually no risk, of it happening in the future, right? No talking to other men, no messaging other men, no communication, no Instagram, and so on.
I think that's
How do you know they're sleeping with other dudes though?
Oh, you can tell.
You have to make that assumption in 2023. That's how people move.
But like some of them really are not. Like
Yeah, some. Exactly. You're looking for the some.
That ass, like
Oh,
really
they are.
not.
That's just the thing, though.
Well,
Like,
okay,
you
so-
never know, so you have to take
Look,
precautions.
so if they're not, then you still do the vetting process, maybe 2 or 3 dates, and you determine they're not, and then you feel comfortable, and then you move on in the relationship as normal.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's
Wait,
say
so
they're
you're
not.
saying that they go out just to eat and they don't actually like you?
Yeah, that happens very often. In fact, some girls make a living in university off just this. Hilariously. It's like having a side business, but your side business is using guys. Alright, let's end the video there. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all notifications, drop me a donation like Hunter M, Adrian Altom, Bobby Dylan, Renaissance Press, and Brian. Shout out to you, most recent Patreon subscriber. Thank you. If you want coaching, message me at theheliosblog@gmail.com. My books can be found at bit.ly/heliosbooks. And my Patreon is patreon.com/theheliosblog. Thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.